The nightmares began when Ryan Hammons was 4 years old. He would wake up clutching his chest, telling his mother Cindy that he couldn't breathe and that his heart had exploded in Hollywood. But they didn't live in Los Angeles. Hammons' family resided in Oklahoma. A few months prior, in early 2009, Ryan had started talking about going home to Hollywood and pleaded with Cindy to take him to see his other family. He would yell, "Action!" and pretend to direct films when he played with friends. He knew scenes from a cowboy movie he had never watched, and said a cafe reminded him of Paris, where he had never been. He talked about his child, worldly travels, and his job at an agency where people changed their names. Cindy didn't think much of it until the nightmares set in and Ryan started describing death. Hoping to figure out what he was talking about, Cindy went to the public library and checked out a few books about Hollywood. She was flipping through one of them when Ryan got excited at a photo from the 1932 movie Night After Night. "Hey Mama, that's George. We did a picture together," he told her. "And Mama, that guy's me. I found me." George, Cindy discovered, was George Raft, an actor and dancer who specialized in gangster films in the 1930s and 1940s. She couldn't track down the name of the man Ryan had identified as himself. Cindy had never encountered anything like this before. She was a county clerk deputy who'd been raised in the Baptist church. Her husband, Kevin, was a Muskogee police officer and the son of a Church of Christ minister. She considered them to be fairly ordinary people, but she was starting to wonder if Ryan wasn't so ordinary. Cindy contemplated the possibility that this could be a case of reincarnation. Though she could have looked to one of the religions that hold a belief in reincarnation, such as Hinduism or Buddhism, instead, Cindy turned to science. In February 2010, she wrote a letter to the Division of Perceptual Studies in the Psychiatry and Neurobehavioral Department at the University of Virginia School of Medicine. Within weeks, they wrote back, Ryan was far from alone in having memories of a past life. Professor Jim Tucker traveled to Oklahoma to meet the Hammons family in April 2010. With help from a TV crew that was following Ryan's case, they identified the man in the photo from Night After Night as Marty Martyn, who died in 1964. Tucker showed Ryan photos of people Martyn had known in sets of 4, asking if anyone looked familiar. He later realized this wording was too vague, especially for a 6-year-old, but Ryan did pick out Martyn's wife, saying that she looked familiar but that he wasn't sure how he knew her. Together, they flew to Los Angeles and met Martyn's daughter, who'd been 8 years old when her father had died. Ryan was confused to find she had grown. Tucker fact-checked some of Ryan's memories with Martyn's daughter. A lot of the details proved accurate, a lot of them did not. Some couldn't be verified. Martyn had acted as an extra in movies before becoming a talent agent. He and his wife had traveled the globe. Ryan had talked about dancing on Broadway, which Tucker thought unlikely for someone who'd been an extra with no lines, but Martyn's daughter verified those memories. He had mentioned 2 sisters and a mother with curly brown hair, also true. He recalled his address having Rock or Mount in its name, and Martyn's last address was 825 N Roxbury.